Hello friends, this is SK Tariqul Islam. So today I'm in front of you with another tutorial, and our today's tutorial will be loop or loop through list, or how we can loop within a list so that we can extract or we can identify or we can um, uh, uh, get our desired value. Okay, so let I'm using Jupyter notebook loop in list. Okay, and let's create a list, and we are going to name this list as X, and this is a list of fruits or a bucket where we have kept apple, banana and cherry. And now what we want to do, now we want to print all the elements within the list. So what can I do? Here in my previous session we have seen that when we have print any list, the list was printed horizontally, but here the lists are printed vertically. How and why? Because at first this apple is printed, then banana printed, then cherry printed. So how this happened? What is the internal mechanisms of the loop? So when a loop run, and here we have learned, or here we are actually running a for loop, and this is the syntax of for loop, that is for y is a variable. There is a new variable, that is all the variables from x will be looped through y, and this will be kept within y. So for y in x, and we must use a clone for any for function or any this or while loop or anything. So we will definitely use this clone sign. Okay, so what happened, that is for y, that is for this number apple, first this thing at first this loop ran over here. After that this is printed, then the result is here. After that again another loop, after that again another loop. So this is how every time the operation is being the operation is being executed from a particular session, and it is picking a single value. But if we don't do, we just omit this, and here if I just print x, what will happen? We can see, what is that? Oh, we can see that we have created a list and we have printed the list, and this list have printed, the list has printed in a horizontal pattern. But when we are running any loop, so what is happening, that is at first this loop enters at the first element, that is, and after that this is printed. After that this loop enters in the second element, then third element, and we can see the loop has been printed. So this is how a loop works in. Okay, so actually this is the main reason to run a loop. And loop mostly okay, why this is happening? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake, that is my bad. So initially a loop will run through the first element, then second element, then third element. So this is the basic thing, and we must learn in details when we'll be learning loop, or in details in for loop. then how the mechanism of loop runs in. Just users get the clearance or get the concept or get the perceptions how these loops works out within a list. Okay, after that, loop through the index number. Okay, sometimes I need to pass a loop within a index number. So how can we do that? This is almost the similar one what we have done previously. Here I have created a list called x, then x, then x. Okay, and instead of y, we have taken I here. Okay, so what happens, how many times this loop will run, and that will depends on the length of the list. Okay, so how okay, let me just see that. Here I can see that. So loop will run the total number of elements or items present in the list. So here I can see the total number of elements are 3. So loop will run thrice. So let's see what is the result. Here the loop is running for 4 times because I have added another elements or items in the list. So this length function identifies the number of elements or item presents in a list. So this is how we can run through the index number. And also the iterable creates in the example above is 0, 1, 2, 3 because there are 3 items and the length of the loop is 3. So similar function we can run using while loop. Okay, here in W3 school we can see that you can loop through the list items by using a while loop. Use the length functions to determine the length of the list, then start at 0 loop your way to the list items by referring to their index number. Remember, to increase the index must use a incrementer. Okay, so if we use a while loop, then we can see there are few things are there. Number one, the name of the list is x, and here where while I is less than length, that is this loop will start from 0 where I is less than the length. What is the length? 1, 2, 3. The length is 3. That is the loop will start from 0 to 2, because if I loop through the length, that is then it will run 4 times because loop will begins from 0. Then print x, and here I am going to pursue the index value. What is the index value? The index value actually this counter value. Then I have to use the increment I equal to I plus 1. Every time the loops runs, this will increase 1 with the previous value. So if I run that, we are getting the same thing. I hope you are clear how this while loop syntax works. While we use any while loop, then we must use a counter. The counter, that is the initializations, the beginning point of loop where from the loop will start, and a condition, and definitely we must use the clone, and definitely in the condition I must say this I will be less than the length of a list. The length of a list is 3. So first time this will be 0. After that this will be printed. Then it will come here. After that 0 plus 1 equal to 1. So it will shift here. So after that when this will be printed, then 1 plus 1 equal to 2. That is steady. because in this list this is 0, sorry, 0, 1 and 2. So here it will be 0 plus 1, then 1 plus 1, then 2 plus 1, sorry, 1, then 1 plus 1 equal to 2, then 2 plus 1. So every time this loop will run and this will go with the flow. So first it will be, then second, then thing. So the loop will be definitely less than the length value or the length of the list. So here I can see the length of the list is 3, and this must be, the loop must be less than 3. So while this condition will be fulfilled, the loop will automatically print these things, or it will come out from the loop. So this is how a while loop works. After that, looping using the comprehension. So what this comprehension means, this comprehension offered the shortest syntax of loop. So there are how smartly or in a shortly we can write a program. This is something this we call a very smart program. Okay, so how we can do this? Actually, what does it says? So if we just run this program, we will get the same value. So while we will actually moving through the comprehension, what we can see here, this is a list of a fruits bucket and print x. So I am asking the compiler to print x for when there is, while this x will be printed for x in the list. So that every time the x will run, this will be printed. You see, same thing is being happened. So this is the smart way or comprehension where the syntax is this one, that is the end condition one will be enclosed with square bracket. Similar, so while we will actually learn about the list comprehension, then we will learn in details of these programs. I hope you have already understood how we can write a loop, or how we can program any loop through a list, and we can use the initializer or incrementer. So, and how these programs iterates to get the value from a list. So this is not a long tutorial. I am here to I tried my level best to make you clear about the concepts, so that you can use it in your programs, you can use it in your functions. So program is actually what to design something. So programming means designing something which I want to print, or which I want to let people know. So this is a language to interact with the compiler or machine. So we have already shown the comprehension, or the shortest or the smallest way to run a loop, so that we can execute a program very smartly. So I hope you are clear, and I have tried my level best to make you understand regarding the for loop, and using the length function to identify the index number, so that I can run a function. After that, I have discussed with the while loop and also the comprehensions of for loop. And this is a very important thing, and we need to use this looping thing while we will analyzing data from a central database, in order to get the right data from the database, and we can plot it into our report. I have already discussed in my previous video that writing smart program is definitely necessary. Similarly, an accurate program will make us efficient, and being a data analyst, to get the insights from a data set, this smart way will help us very well, because the management will never ask you what program I have written. The management will always ask what is the insight of the data and what decision we can make. So being a data scientist, to understand the looping concept is very important, because we will have to deal with some random functions or random data set where multiple or similar things may occur randomly or frequently. So, and we got to portray the report in front of the management, and our presentation skill is very important, and we must learn this presentation skill. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone to stick to my channel, to watch my video, to contribute, and also subscribe. Already lots of people have subscribed to my channel, and I again request those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, so that in future when I upload any new content, you get a notifications. And if you have any thing to or if you have any queries, please write your queries in the comment box. And if you like my content, please please give a thumbs up or like, so that it motivates me. I can understand actually how and where to be improved, and how nicely I can be a I can present this knowledge with you. Since I am a beginner, I know being a beginner, we have to face lots of challenges, and those who are not from any technical background or any CSE or computer science or any programming know-how, it is a bit hard for them. But if you really watch my video and practice carefully by your own, you can also take help from W3 School to get the insight or get the syntax. Also you can visit the official websites of Python. From there you can get the documentations to learn this. So I maybe you take from my tutorial, or you take from help from W3 School or Python official sites. But the thing is that your concept must be clear. You should know what to do and where to do and how to do, on what are the syntax and how I am going to use this syntax. So I'm not going to extend my video anymore. Just finally I want to say you thank you, and one more request again, subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell icon, so that you get my recent upload video notifications, and your comment will be highly appreciated. Thank you so much. Bye bye.